Facial recognition. It feels like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Except it's not. It's probably how you unlocked your phone this morning. It's the technology that watched you go through security at the airport last week. The thing is, this tech has quietly become a fundamental part of our world's infrastructure, and it's high time we had a real conversation about what that means for every single one of us. So let's dive in.
And that's a pretty fair question to ask, isn't it? I mean, when did this happen? From unlocking our phones to boarding a plane, our face has basically become a universal key. But here's the catch. This whole shift, it happened so fast, so quietly, that we never really hit the pause button to have a big public talk about whether this is the kind of world we actually want.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to look at how this tech went from being a wild idea to just daily life. Then, we'll pinpoint where it's being used right now, explore the pretty unique risks it brings, talk about the huge trade-off we're all making, and finally, we'll get into why governance is so important here. Right, let's start from the top. How on earth do we get here so quickly? Seriously, what was just a cool concept in movies and books a little while ago is now a core technology that shapes how our society works, a lot of the time in ways we don't even notice. And this right here is the most crucial point. This isn't just some new app on your phone. We're talking about foundational technology. Think electricity or the internet. It's being woven into the very fabric of our most critical systems. There's a word for this. It's called normalization. It's when something that was once totally extraordinary, like a machine mapping your face, becomes so common that we just stop questioning it. It's just normal.
So, if this technology is now the new normal, where is it actually running? You might be surprised. It's already in the systems we count on every single day.
I mean, just think about how mundane and everyday these examples are. Our national ID systems, a lot of them now depend on biometric data. Those e-gates at the airport, they're scanning your face to prove it's you. Heck, even the banking app on your phone probably opens with just a glance. It has slipped into our lives almost invisibly.
Okay, so it's everywhere. And yeah, it can be super convenient. But, and this is a really big but, this widespread use brings a completely new kind of risk to the table. This is where the sheer scale of it all starts to matter. A lot. This is what gets right to the heart of the whole problem. Because when you have a system that is watching everyone, all the time, a single error isn't just a tiny little bug. It has the potential to set off a chain reaction with massive cascading consequences.
So this brings us to a really important term, systemic risk. We're not talking about one person getting misidentified one time. We're talking about a flaw in the technology itself that could damage the entire system it's attached to, whether that's a banking network, a national ID database, or a citywide security system.
And this comparison really makes it crystal clear. You get wrongly tagged in a photo online? That's an isolated incident. It's annoying for sure, but the damage is contained. But a systemic failure in a country's banking FRT system, that could lock out millions of people from their own money all at the same time. The scale of the problem completely changes the game.
And all of this leads us to the central conflict, the real tug-of-war at the heart of the facial recognition debate. And look, this isn't a simple good versus evil story. It's a genuinely tough balancing act between things we all want.
On one hand, the benefits are pretty obvious, right? Incredible efficiency, the promise of more security. But on the other hand, the costs are huge. We're talking about fundamental things like our right to privacy, our personal dignity, and even the health of our democracies, which really rely on us being able to live our lives without feeling like we're constantly being watched.
So, how do we handle this? How do we get the good stuff from the tech without paying way too high a price? Well, this is where the idea of AI governance becomes absolutely essential. So what exactly is AI governance? The simplest way to think about it is, it's the rule book. It's not about banning technology, it's about steering it. It's how we use our laws and legal systems to put up guardrails. Think of things like Europe's GDPR to make sure these incredibly powerful tools are serving our values, not chipping away at them. And the main goal here is both simple and powerful. It's to make sure that in this big rush for convenience and efficiency, we don't accidentally trample all over the fundamental rights and legal protections that societies have spent centuries building.
This quote from our source material really just nails it. Governance is the balancing mechanism. It's what gives us the power to consciously and deliberately weigh the trade-offs, instead of just letting the technology make these huge decisions for us.
And that leaves us with one final and maybe the most important question to chew on. If governance is the balance, who decides how to tip the scales? Is it the tech companies? Is it governments? Or should it be all of us together, having a real democratic conversation? The answer to that question is going to define the kind of world we build in this new age of AI.